Making headlines, President NUYS emphasizes China's role as a reliable partner in the Maldives' development. President NUYS announces a significant reshuffle in his cabinet with several key appointments. And China's ambassador to Maldives states China remains committed to supporting the Maldives' development efforts.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiz Abdulsattar. And now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad NUYS emphasizes China's role as a reliable partner in the Maldives' development. He made the remarks during the reception held to mark the 75th National Day of China.
Speaking at the reception, President NUYS highlighted that China has consistently been among the first to provide aid during natural disasters and economic challenges. The President described the deep relationship between the two nations as one of mutual trust and compassion, noting that it extends beyond mere transactions. President NUYS reaffirmed that their friendship is rooted in trust, respect, and a commitment to sovereignty and non-interference, which has strengthened over time.
The relationship between the Maldives and China is built on the solid foundation of trust, mutual respect, and a shared commitment to the principles of sovereignty and non-interference. Despite the geographical distance that separates our nations, the bond of friendship has always grown stronger over the years. Our partnership, rooted in common aspirations of peace, development, and cooperation, is one that both nations cherish deeply. China has consistently been a steadfast partner in the development journey of the Maldives.
The President pointed out China's significant contributions through various housing and infrastructure projects, including the China-Maldives Friendship Bridge, which symbolizes enduring friendship. President NUYS expressed optimism for increased cooperation in trade, tourism, agriculture, fisheries, renewable energy, and cultural exchange, particularly through the Belt and Road Initiative, which offers exciting opportunities for mutual growth and regional prosperity.
President Dr. Mohammad NUYS announces a significant reshuffle in his cabinet with several key appointments. Musa Zamir, who has been serving as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, has been appointed as the new Minister of Finance, replacing Dr. Muhammad Shafiq. Dr. Abdullah Halil, currently the Minister of Health, will now take on the role of Minister of Foreign Affairs. Additionally, Nazim, who is presently the Minister at the President's office, has been appointed as the new Minister of Health. The ministers has taken oath of the new positions. China's ambassador to Maldives, Wang Lixin, states China remains committed to supporting the Maldives' development efforts and enhancing the country's capacities. She made the statement during the reception marking China's 75th National Day.
Ambassador Wang highlighted the 52-year relationship between China and the Maldives, describing it as a positive example for other nations. She emphasized that this partnership has consistently benefited both countries. The ambassador noted that their collaboration has led to significant infrastructure development in the Maldives, citing projects such as the Sinamal Bridge, whereas housing initiatives and the Velana International Airport as key examples. Since President Dr. Mohammad NUYS's initial visit to China, the relationship has evolved into a comprehensive strategic partnership.
The Maldives is a traditional friendly neighbor of China and an important cooperation partner of China. Since the establishment of diplomatic relations 52 years ago, despite the vicissitudes of the international community situation, China and the Maldives have always respected and supported each other, setting a good example of equal treatment, mutual assistance, and win-win cooperation among countries of different sizes.
Ambassador Wang assured that China will continue to provide robust support for the Maldives' development initiatives. On behalf of the Chinese government, she welcomed the Maldives' efforts to strengthen its economy and promote sustainable development, particularly for small island developing states. Ambassador Wang expressed confidence that relations between the two countries would deepen in new areas under President Moises' leadership. She noted ongoing collaboration in culture, tourism, trade, and human resource development, and highlighted efforts to strengthen connections between the peoples and cities of both nations.
Health Minister Abdullah Khalil voices concerns about the prevalence of inherited symptoms of heart disease among the population. He made the remarks during an event held at Central Park, Hulumale, to commemorate World Heart Day. The event, attended by individuals of all ages, including children, youth, and the elderly, featured activities such as a bike race. In his remarks, Minister Khalil highlighted the country's small population, yet significant public health challenges. He highlighted that from 2015 to 2023, it was reported that 4.7% of individuals aged 15 to 65 experience heart disease or stroke. Emphasizing the importance of improving heart health, the minister pointed out that the World Heart Federation estimates that 17 million people die from heart disease annually. He urged the public to engage in physical activity and adopt healthier lifestyle habits. September 29th is recognized annually as World Heart Day, aimed at raising awareness about heart health and educating the public on preventive measures against heart disease and associated diseases. Minister of Health Dr. Abdullah Khalil announces that studies are currently underway to resume telemedicine services which facilitate virtual consultations with doctors outside the islands.
In a special segment on PSMNEWS, Minister Khalil emphasized the President's commitment to ensuring continuous healthcare access across all islands. He noted that the government is focused on introducing innovative changes to the healthcare system, including building new hospitals, launching new services, and enhancing the quality of existing ones. Highlighting the importance of the health sector, which directly impacts every citizen in the Maldives, the minister stated that providing healthcare in islands without doctors is essential. Although telemedicine initiatives have been attempted in the past, they were unsuccessful due to insufficient training and inadequate internet connectivity at the time. Dr. Khalil confirmed that efforts are now underway to revive telemedicine services, with studies being conducted to support this initiative. He noted that most islands now have access to 5G services or fiber optic connections, which are crucial for the effective implementation of telemedicine. The goal of reintroducing telemedicine is to offer health services that may not be available locally, allowing patients to access specialists without needing to travel to health centers. This development will provide significant convenience for many who previously traveled abroad for medical treatment, enabling them to consult with overseas specialists at a lower cost.
The Ministry of Health is inviting nominations for the National Food Safety and Quality Board, which includes positions for a service recipient representative, a food science expert, and representatives from food service establishments. The board comprises 10 members, each serving a term of 5 years.
Members of this board are responsible for providing advice, guidance, and technical support to the Food and Drug Authority regarding food quality and safety, ensuring that food products are wholesome, and addressing enforcement challenges. A key requirement for board membership is that candidates must not have any vested interests in food service businesses. Ministry of Health states that preference will be given to individuals nominated by associations representing service recipients. Application should include a copy of the national identity card along with contact details, email address, and documentation of relevant education and experience. The deadline for submitting nominations is October 10th. Recent concerns have emerged regarding the rise of foreign vendors preparing and selling food without adhering to hygiene standards in the Maldives. In response, the government is making concerted efforts to address these issues, including the recent implementation of the Food Safety Act. This legislation allows for the issuance of recall notices to withdraw unsafe products from the market and grants the authority to impose fines ranging from $651 to $65,106. Under the Food Safety Act, the Maldives Food and Drug Authority (MFDA) is empowered to inspect food manufacturing, sales and storage facilities and take action against those that do not comply with safety standards. Additionally, the MFDA is tasked with establishing a monitoring system for law enforcement. The government and relevant agencies believe that these measures will significantly enhance food safety in the Maldives.
And now we'll take a short break for Isha prayers. Stay tuned.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدًا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وبعثه مقامًا محمودًا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
ඒරෙග්ග දුනියග නਜ਼ර ಹುಟ್ಟಿಫಾವಾ ಪೊಡೆತಿ ಮಸಲ್ತ
ಸೇರೋ ವೋತ ಹುಂಕೋಂತ್ರ
ಎ ಮಸಲ್ತಹುಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಫಹುಗ ತಫ್ಸೀರ್ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಫುಣ ದಿರಾಸ ಕುರುವ ಫಹು
ದುನಿಯೆಗೆ ಖಳಿ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ದುವಹಕು ಸೋಳಗಡಿ ತಿರಿಹುಗ PSM ನ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್
PSM ಗೆ ಟಿವಿ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ತಕ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ತ ಮಿಹಾರು PSM Air ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ನು ತಿಯ ಬೇಫ್ರುನ್ನ ಹಿಲೆ ಬಲಾಲೆವೆನೆ ಅದಿ ಅಡುವ ಹಾಲೆವೆನೆ ದುನಿಯೆಗೆ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ತಾಗುಹುರೆಗೆನ್ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ಗಡಿಯಕು PSM ಗೆ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ತ ಬಲಾಲುಮ ಅವಹ PSM Air app ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಕುರವ್ವ ಮಿಹಾರು ಆಪ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಉನ್ನ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಇಂವೆಸ್ ಮಿ ಆಪ್ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಕೊಲ್ಲೆವೆನೆ
Welcome back to PSM News in English, and now we'll continue with the news. The Health Protection Agency HPA expresses concern that over 70% of the population in the Maldives consumes more salt than recommended. Excessive salt intake poses serious health risk, and exceeding the daily recommended amount can lead to various health issues. A STEP survey conducted by the World Health Organization (WHO) revealed that 70.3% of respondents consume more salt than advisable. The consequences of high salt intake extend beyond elevated blood pressure. Studies indicate it can negatively impact the immune system and increase susceptibility to health problems caused by various bacteria. Additionally, high salt consumption is linked to a higher risk of heart attacks and strokes, and individuals with kidney issues must be particularly cautious. The WHO advises that a daily salt intake should not exceed 5 grams, roughly equivalent to 1 tablespoon. However, many people regularly consume significantly more than this guideline. Reducing salt intake can lead to substantial benefits for heart health. Incorporating herbs and honey as alternatives to salt can improve overall well-being. It is also essential to monitor salt levels in packaged foods by checking nutritional labels. The Ministry of Defense reveals that 285 chemical storage facilities in the Greater Mali region will be inspected as part of Operational Hiras Fast. The operation will take place from October 1st to 15th.
Speaking to PSM News, Deputy Minister of Defence Fatimat Miznali explained that the operation is part of President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu's initiative to enhance the safety and security of the Maldivian society. She noted concerns about illegal chemical trading occurring in areas authorized for chemical storage and sales. She also said that the ministry receives frequent complaints about chemicals being sold in quantities exceeding the legal limits. Additionally, Deputy Minister Mizna emphasized the risks associated with fires in locations storing hazardous chemicals, as such incidents can endanger nearby areas. She also stressed the importance of ensuring that chemicals are stored and traded in compliance with the laws and regulations of the country. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Colonel Faiz Rashad spoke in behalf of the Maldives National Defence Force MNDF Fire and Rescue Services. He highlighted that the ministry is taking steps to safeguard the public. He said that Operation Hiras Pass marks the first phase of this effort. He also said that the operation focuses on 2 key objectives, which include identifying sites where chemicals are stored and traded illegally and pinpointing buildings in the Greater Mali region that are particularly vulnerable to fire hazards. The ministry has identified 285 warehouses in the region that will be inspected during the operation. Additionally, Faiz said that the operation's goal is to eventually extend inspections to the entire country. For now, he said that it will target warehouses in Male City, Tilafushi and Hurumale, with the majority located in Tilafushi. He said that the inspections will be conducted from 900 hours to 1600 hours daily during the operation's 2-week span, with participation from the Fire and Rescue Services, Maldives Police Service MPS, MNDF Male Area Command and 6 other government agencies.
European diplomats say EU member states are expected to vote on whether to slap hefty tariffs on imported electric cars from China on Friday.
The European Commission, in charge of EU trade policy, plans to levy additional duties of up to 36% on electric vehicles imported from China, but the issue has divided the bloc. Brussels announced its plans in July for the tariffs, on top of current duties of 10%, after an anti-subsidy probe found Chinese state subsidies were unfairly undermining European competitors. The tariffs would become definitive for 5 years after a vote by the EU's 27 member states that must take place before the end of October. EU diplomats told AFP that the vote is now planned for October 4th. One diplomat said that the hope now was that the talks can continue after the adoption of the rates. 11th hour talks took place in Brussels when China's Commerce Minister Wang Wentao visited earlier this month, but no solution was found to avoid duties. The EU wants to level the playing field to protect its automotive industry, which provides jobs to around 14 million people in the bloc. Germany and most recently Spain have criticized the tariffs, which they fear could lead to a trade war with China, but
Gabon and Equatorial Guinea face off at the International Court of Justice (ICJ), hoping to resolve a decades-old scrap over the sovereignty of 3 disputed islands in potentially oil-rich waters.
The 2 West African nations have been squabbling over the 30-hectare island of Mbani and 2 smaller low-lying islets, Cocotier and Conga, since the early 1970s. Unlike most contentious cases that come to the ICJ in The Hague, the 2 countries eventually agreed to send the thorny issue to the judges to find an amicable solution. The dispute dates all the way back to 1900, when then colonial powers France and Spain signed a treaty in Paris setting out the borders between the 2 countries. Gabon argues that a later treaty signed in 1974, the Barter Convention, gives it sovereignty over the islands. But Domingo Essono, Vice Minister of Mines and Hydrocarbons of Equatorial Guinea, disputed the validity of this document. He told the court Gabonese officials suddenly produced this treaty at a meeting between the 2 countries in 2003, taking Equatorial Guinea completely by surprise.
Paramac Racing's Jorge Martin led a crash-hit Indonesia Grand Prix in Mandalika from start to finish on Sunday to win his 3rd race of the season and extend to 21 points his lead over reigning champions Francesco Bagnaia.
Pole sitter Martin rocketed off the line in hot and humid conditions at the Mandalika International Street Circuit to take the lead going into turn 1 and stayed there throughout the race, despite having Pedro Acosta breathing down his neck. The jubilant 26-year-old punched the air after his win, which comes a year after he crashed at the 2023 Indonesia GP to throw away his lead in the championship before ultimately finishing runner-up to Bagnaia. The Spaniard lead in the championship with 366 points, 21 ahead of Bagnaia, 345 in 2nd place. Bagnaia, looking to win 8 races in a season for the first time in his MotoGP career, qualified 4th on the grid and won the sprint on Saturday to cut his gap with Martin to 12 points. The Italian Ducati rider had a terrible start, staying stuck in 4th after a slow launch before drifting wide and being overtaken by Franco Morbidelli and Marco Bezzecchi to drop down into 6th in the 2nd lap.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant time ahead.
ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ಹರಿಗಿವೆ ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ ಮೊಗೆ ಎವ್ವನ ದಿವಸ ಫಾಹಕುರಣಿ ಮೆಲ್ಲಗಾಮಿ ಗೊತ್ತು ಫಾಹಕುರ